Imagine writing a nonfiction book in days and weeks, not months and years, and without the overwhelm. What if AI could be your secret? I'll be sharing a full masterclass of the 9 steps that I recommend you take to prompt, write, and publish your nonfiction book, all based on my new book, AI Book Writing Formula. So, what you'll learn today is how to go from idea to published book assisted by AI. How to go from idea to published book, and that includes your hook, your title, and your outline. How to use ChatGPT as your assistant and co-author, and why now is the best time to write your book. So, if you're new to my podcast, my name is Caryl Westmore, and I'm an AI book coach and mentor, helping nonfiction writers to write their books, to boost their business, attract clients, and have the kudos of a best-selling book on Amazon. So if you want tips, tools, and interviews, and frank advice from someone like me who's actually doing this work, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. And drop a comment below. I'm ready to write my book. So part 1 of my book is about why AI is changing the game when it comes to coaches, healers, wellness experts writing their client attraction, business boosting books on which they can leverage their brand. First of all, let's look at the book writing revolution being caused by AI. AI, like ChatGPT, does not replace you as a writer. It empowers you. Think of it as your co-writer, your brainstorming buddy, an editor in one. There was a time when people scoffed at self-published books, but that time is over now. Similarly, you'll still hear people saying, oh, AI wrote that book. But that's also a thing of the past, because you as an author can learn to be the authentic writer of your book and AI your assistant. So if you get stuck in the ways that I'll show you, you turn to ChatGPT, you ask it for some information, and then you continue writing it, infusing it with your case studies, your stories, and who you are. So comment below if you've ever felt ambivalent about ChatGPT. Someone even refused to have me on her podcast. She's a book writing expert, but she said she finds that AI is still too divisive a topic to talk about when it comes to writing your book. But here I am, proud of this book, because as you see, when I started it, I infused myself in it. So the introduction, I say, a Caribbean holiday with ChatGPT. And I start off by saying, if I told you I took ChatGPT on holiday with me to the Caribbean to visit my son, and in between snorkeling was brainstorming this very book, would you believe me? But what I found out when I arrived to visit my son in the Caribbean was that my laptop collapsed on me, and all I had was my smartphone, and I discovered at that time the ChatGPT app, which is like talking to someone on WhatsApp. And from that, I could thresh out the outline and try different titles. So before I go any further, let me introduce myself. I'm Caryl Westmore, best-selling author and energy psychology coach, an expert in tools like EFT tapping to help writers and authors release their inner blocks to writing their best books. So if you're a coach, healer, or entrepreneur, your book is more than just words on a page. It's your message, your authority, and your legacy. But writing a book can feel overwhelming for so many of you. I get it. That's why I wrote ChatGPT AI Book Writing Formula, to give you a clear step-by-step path to write your book with AI. I say in my book, there's never been a better time to write your book, because the world needs healers like you in a time of great anxiety and stress, and many people are turning to meditation and inner directive methods that you can tell them about as a coach, writer, healer, wellness expert. Let's begin by diving in to the 9 steps one by one. Step 1 is get clear. And that means getting clear within of your inner blocks and also getting clear on why you're writing the book and what it's going to be about. In step 2, get inspired, you're getting an overview of what your book is about and what its hook is to attract your readers because of some pain point or problem that they have that you can help them overcome. So once we get clear and we can use some of the tools that I'm trained in, like EFT tapping, what is the inspiration for your book? In step 2, we get inspired with the promise, the hook, and the reason why you're writing your book. Then we move on to step 3 and we start to get focus. What are your readers' pain points, fears, and frustrations? How will your book provide the solution they've been seeking to their challenges, dreams, and goals? In step 4, get going, we build the book's outline, and this is a key. But first, I'm giving you the 9 steps of a typical write the book inside you book writing formula. So when you get going, you're creating your book's outline. This provides a high-level overview of your book's structure, flow, and the main section or parts. The structure is a skeleton to flesh out as you write. In step 5, keep going, the shitty first draft, as Anne Lamott calls it, comes into play. It doesn't need to be perfect. Allow it to be messy. The beauty is in the process. You're getting something down. You're writing so many 100 words a day. Step 6 is editing, proofreading to perfect your draft. That is when you switch hats. If you've been in creative mode, which you should not be putting on your editing mode until after you've got your first draft. Step 7 is polishing to perfection. And now it's time to think about step 8, dress for success. Cover, format, and publish your book. Let me share with you my secret before I even approach writing my books. I often have an idea for a title. I know what the book's going to be about, and I want an inspirational cover to help me. So I'll either go to Canva or play in ChatGPT with DALL-E and come up with a mock cover. We're going to look at how AI can help you source your big idea, your hook, and the promise of your book. So what do I mean by a big idea, a hook, and a promise? Well, let's take this book as an example. The big idea is that the same technology that powers futuristic Tesla vehicles and human-like Optimus robots is now accessible for healers and coaches to streamline their book writing process and take the grunt work out of it. What is a hook? The hook for this book is that if AI can drive cars and handle household chores, as predicted by tech tycoon Elon Musk with the Optimus robots, why not use it to research and assist you to write your book? Finally, we need a promise. So the promise of this book, ChatGPT, AI Book Writing Formula, and this masterclass is that by listening and following the 9-step formula, you will have a book in your hands that is supported by the prompts that I share in the book. So step by step, you'll be working through your book idea with the prompts and get to the end, hopefully with an outline, a hook, an idea, and a title all ready to maybe spend another week or so perfecting. So really, we are talking about a transformation that the reader will have after they finish your book. I'm a journalist, and I recommend you use the 3W formula to dive into finding these for your book. That is who, what, why. Define your who. Create a detailed profile of your client. Who are you wanting to reach with your book? Identify your what. Then choose the most pressing problem that aligns with your teaching or your expertise. Finally, clarify your why. Articulate your unique approach to solving the chosen problem, who you are to help them, and explain how your solution differs from existing approaches. Remember, the goal is to make your book irresistible to your readers. Yes, I must have this book. She has written exactly the steps I need to write my book. And in the case of ChatGPT AI book writing formula, there are the prompts I can use that she will share with me. Before going any further, let me stop and share my screen, and you can then watch me put into ChatGPT the 10 prompts that will get you your big idea, your hook, your ideal reader, and your promise. And no, you don't have to screenshot this as I work, because if you look in the show notes, I will give you the full ChatGPT AI author prompt cheat sheet that includes these prompts that go with my book. But you can download it free after you watch this video. I'm going to begin by showing you my Prompt Ninja cheat sheet, a time-saving cheat sheet for authors who are working through the ChatGPT AI book writing formula. It's divided into 2 parts, 11 essential tips on how to use a prompt if you don't know how, and then a summary from my book as I work through the 9 steps. These are some of the prompts that I'll show you that we use. So this is where I say, clarify, what is a prompt, what is prompt engineering, give examples, and then we move into part 2, which is a prompt summary, and this is what people really find useful. But step 2, we're going to focus on getting inspired with your big idea, your hook, and your promise. And I told you that there's the 3W journalistic formula: who, what, and why. So I'm just going to copy these in to ChatGPT, the 10 prompts for this section. We will then work through them so that you can see how I use them. The first prompt is create a detailed profile of an ideal client for your profession, specializing in your niche, include age range, profession, key challenges, aspiration, and daily habits. I'm going to presume that you've come to me for a consult. I do a VIP consult helping people with this. And when I put these prompts in, I ask you, what are your intentions with your book? And one by one, we'll go through. So I'm going to put in this first prompt, create a detailed profile of an ideal client, and I'm going to put in EFT tapping therapist, specializing in her niche, specializing in weight loss. Include range, profession, key challenges, aspirations, and daily habits. So this is the example we would get. An ideal client would be Sarah, age 38 to 52, a wellness-minded professional, urban or suburban in the US, UK, Canada, possibly married or divorced, with 1 or 2 kids or caregiving for aged parents. Key challenges: emotional eating, yo-yo dieting, low body confidence, and so on. Aspirations: to release her weight naturally, to feel confident and radiant, to be a role model for her kids. And her daily habits: she wakes up feeling rushed, often skipping breakfast, and goes on, tries to walk or do yoga, but often puts herself last, journals or listens to affirmations, and late night snacking while watching Netflix is a common self-soothing ritual. GPT working on that. Would you like me to turn this into a shareable visual or plug it into a prompt for the next section, the top 5 problems? Now we're asking, what top 5 problems faced by Sarah, your ideal client, around weight loss? And it gives you 5, ranked by urgency and impact. Emotional eating, self-sabotage, exhaustion, deep body shame, overwhelmed by diet culture. So would you like me to continue with the why? Yes. Showing you why, unique solution with EFT tapping, prompt recapped. You're a professional, it goes over the prompt. The response is, I'm an EFT tapping therapist specializing in emotional weight loss for women like Sarah who struggle. Using EFT, she can identify and clear emotional triggers, release deeply stored feelings of shame, fear, and grief, rewire subconscious beliefs, calm her nervous system instantly, and build a new relationship with food, her body, and herself. By combining energy psychology with gentle self-awareness, EFT helps Sarah break the emotional eating cycle for good. And so on, we will continue with all the prompts, going from just the steps. The 9 steps in the book will be set out one by one for you to use with your specific niche and profession. So I'm going to stop the share now and let you know that you can download those prompts and try them for yourself. But at the same time, I've been offering to hire claim a VIP 90-minute consult. And if you want to know more about how to train ChatGPT to write like you and sound like you, then watch this next video.